So, you want to take better photos. You want to improve your photography skills. You want to have a nice feed on Instagram. You want people to say, wow, you're a great photographer. You're great at taking photos. Well, I will not guarantee all of those, but I do have a few tips on how to improve your photography. Reality is, you don't actually need an expensive gear or camera to take nice photos. Just use whatever you have with you. Doesn't matter if it's a DSLR or mirrorless camera or phone camera or potato, just use whatever you have. This applies to all of the above. So the first one is that you need to understand the basics of the camera. If you're using a DSLR or mirrorless camera, you need to understand the fundamentals on how to operate the camera and to use the right setting for a particular type of shot. Yes, that means you need to stay away from the auto setting. I mean, if you just bought your camera yesterday, you do need some time to warm up with the camera. You can use the auto setting to just take some random photos outside and just get used to the groove of taking photos. But after 2-3 weeks or after a month you've used the auto setting, it's a good time for you to actually stay away from that and start using the manual settings. That means you are in control of the shutter, aperture, and ISO. You're the boss. You control the camera, not the camera control you. Now those are camera talks, but what about smartphones? What about camera phones? Phone cameras are insanely good nowadays. If you're lucky enough to own the latest iPhone, like the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 12, you pretty much have the game in your pocket. There are many videos out there where they compare DSLR with an iPhone 12 camera, and the smartphone is quite up there, to be honest. But I'm not saying that you need the latest iPhone or you need the most expensive smartphone to take a nice photo. You don't actually need all of those. What I'm saying is, if you do have the latest iPhone or an expensive smartphone to take photos, make full use out of it, because there's actually so many settings that even I don't know that an iPhone 12 or any other smartphone can do. They're brilliant nowadays. You know that they say a great gear won't make a bad content good, but it will make good content better. So make sure you maximize your smartphone camera to make your photos stand out from the others. Now, enough of the basics of handling a camera. It's time to talk about the basics of composition. Now this is where things get serious and it can up your photography game and stand out from anybody else. The difference between a good photo and a great photo is in the composition. A good composition in a photo will immediately attract the audience, drawing their attention to your shot. The rules of compositions are such as the rule of third, leading line, symmetry, depth, frame in frame, and many more. There's so many rules of composition out there that you can basically learn just by looking at an example of a shot. It's easy to understand the rules of composition because you're not reading facts, there's no numbers, there's no percentages. It's not rocket science. Basically, you look at the example and you just understand how it works. Of course, you don't have to use all of them in one photo. That's pretty much impossible. But you do need to learn a few of them to actually up your photography game and make your photos look better. The easiest way is to obviously learn one by one. And I recommend to start from the rule of thirds because that's the easiest in my opinion and it's the most interesting. It's so subtle, it delivers the message of your photo, it makes the photo look more dynamic. It just balances out everything. Take two. Well, the battery just died. Anyways, where was I? As I said, once you've adjusted your eyes with the rules and you start to understand how the rules work, you will start seeing all these rules lying around you, just waiting for you to get the shot. There's symmetrical, there's leading lines, there are many other rules of composition that's just everywhere. Everywhere. Especially when you do street photography, you don't actually need to direct anything. It's just there for you. You just need to find the angle and position to find the shot, to find the perfect shot. But how do you exactly adjust your eyes to see all these things around you? That brings us to number 3, which is practice. Practice is important. Just like any other thing that you do, you need to practice to be better, to get better at something. Sports, gaming, photography, everything. You need practice. You need to train yourself to get used to something that you do, so that when a particular situation comes, you already know what to do. During this lockdown season, it's not exactly an excuse for you to not take photos. There's so many things that you can try to take a photo of. Your cat, your morning coffee, flowers outside your house, the garden, the rain, a cat in the rain. There's so many things out there. It does not really matter. Just take the shot. Just take a photo of anything. You don't have to post it on social media to show it to the people. I mean, you can, but if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Just take a photo. There's no such thing as a waste of time, especially during this lockdown when you're just at home doing nothing. Go outside, take some photos. Set up a set like this. Take some lights, some table. Take a photo of your favorite mug, of your dad's car keys, whatever. Just take a photo of something. It's beneficial for yourself. It's a learning curve. You learn things when you practice things. Expand your creativity. Start seeing things in a different way. That's what practice brings you. That's where practice brings you. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Just take the shot, practice and practice until you find a photo where you feel like, wow, I'm good at this. But when you do go outside, bring your camera with you. Well, not all the time, but when you do have the energy and you have the capacity to bring your camera around when you go outside, practice, take some photos. Just take a photo of anything around you. Street photography is the easiest way to approach if you're starting out photography. Take photos of cars, buildings, makcik goreng pisang. If she allows you to take a photo of a pakcik lepak, anything, a cat, maybe a stray cat as well. You gotta take photos of cats. The point is, just practice, just take the shot, just go outside and enjoy yourself. That's the most important thing. Take the shot. Don't be shy or don't feel like you're not good enough. You with your camera, you feel like, you know what, I'm not good enough for this. I don't feel like doing it. No, man. Just do it. Do it. I'm sure most of us have experienced this, where we go out, take some photos and all that. When we got back home and we dump all of our photos and we say like, damn, I should have just taken that shot. Sekarang dah menyesal tak ambil gambar tu. Start to feel like, oh damn, that would have been a nice shot. Why didn't I take it? Exactly. Just take the shot. Tak kisahlah sekeping ke. If it's only one shot or 2 shots, at least you have it. You can use it. You can flex it to your friends. If it's the one perfect shot. Trust me, it only takes one shot to make you feel like, wow, I love doing this thing. I want to do more of it. I want to go outside more and take more photos of stray cats in the rain and more makcik goreng pisang. It takes only that one perfect shot. And number 4, this is the toughest one, I'd say, because patience. Photography can be tricky. It's so technical. You need to do that, you need to do this, you need to adjust that. It can be a bit too much, but when you start to get in the groove, you start to understand things, you start to see things easily, things will get more fun. It will be more relaxing, it will be more fun for you, you start to enjoy it, So you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Just relax. Take this as a form of relaxation. It's relaxing to take photos outside, Be patient with yourself. You are growing and learning when you practice outside, when you take photos. Doesn't matter if it's the smallest thing, if it's only one shot, you're still learning. So there you go. Those are a few nice steps on how to improve your photography skills, to make sure that you consistently take photos that you like, consistently take photos that people would love to see.